Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get notified of new videos, and hit the thumbs up to like the video. And if you feel that this content might benefit anyone that you know, please share the link. I'd like to talk about hands and shoulders. More specifically, our hands and shoulders when we are raising our hands up overhead. For example, when we're starting our sun salutations. It's not just for that, but anytime that we are lifting our hands higher than our shoulders in hopes of getting our hands up towards the sky. So just a few things that I'd like you to be mindful of. Again, these are all just little tidbits of information to help your practice improve so that you can improve your body and get a little bit more space and get a little bit more flexibility out of your body. So we're constantly trying to get more out of our body, right? We don't want to get less. More than likely, we've come to our mat because we've got something going on. There's an injury, we want this or that. So we want to get some benefit out of the things that we are doing on our mat. Yeah. So I'm just covering a few more things to see if we can create some more space. So usually from mountain pose, you would be at the front of your mat, standing. You've already lined up all of your body parts. Your hands are down by your sides, and then we would start by lifting our arms towards the sky with an inhale. So I just want to go over a few things that I would like you to be mindful of. So usually our hands, very similar to when we are in tabletop position, we want to avoid those claw hands. I'd like to try to get my hands as open, as bright as I possibly can. So I know that even that, spreading your fingers long and big, it is difficult for some people. If you have arthritis or issues in your fingers, that's going to be hard. So you're doing the best that you can to open up. Even if you still notice that there's still a curling of your fingertips, we're trying to open them up as best as we can. Again, not so much that it's hard and painful, but where can I try to open up? So usually your hands are down by your sides, and then as you start to lift that hand up towards the sky, I'd like you to be mindful of what is going on in your shoulder as the arm is going up. Yeah? So the palms are usually facing each other as the arms start to go up. And as that arm starts to go up, your fingers are reaching up towards the sky. We're trying to keep a soft elbow. It's not locked. Ideally, it's not this bent unless there's an injury. So there's a soft bend, and the arm is going up, and be mindful of what starts to happen in your shoulder. If you notice that as you're raising your arm, as you're raising your hand up to the sky, that your arm starts to cram into your shoulder, and your shoulder starts to cram into your neck. We want to avoid that. So we don't want to be all jammed here as we're trying to get our hand up towards the sky. So as that hand is going up to the sky, and when you've reached your max height of the day, see if you can be mindful to plug that shoulder back into the socket. So it's not just raise, be all jammed and everything is out of whack. my arm is up there, but I've compromised everything to get there. So be mindful of the shoulder, so that the space between your ear and your shoulder is as big as you can comfortably get on that particular day. Some days it's still going to be pretty close, but can I still create that little bit of distance? So as your arm is going up, my arm is getting closer to my ear, yeah? However, can I still find the softness in my shoulder? So as the arms are going up, you are using your inhale to do that. So it would be your entire inhale to go up, yeah? So when your arms are straight up, you might notice that you're feeling a little jammed. So my hands are stacked over my shoulder, but I've compromised everything in my spine, my natural curves that are going there in my spine. I've compromised all of that just to get those arms straight. So I'm basically not in a good position. I've overdone it. So you might notice that instead of being straight overhead with my arms parallel to each other, you might notice that's not comfortable for you. But maybe taking your hands a little wider will give you the ability to soften your shoulder. Yeah? So as those arms are going up, find the perfect spot for you. As they go up, you might be thinking, yep, good, 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 good. And then you get there and go, it's not 100% good yet, but if I soften, oh, that's much better. So be mindful of how close your hands are. Be mindful how high your shoulders are capable of lifting those arms. There are going to be some days, especially if you have any sort of injury in your shoulder, that coming up to shoulder height is going to be your max. And if that's your max, that's your max. Especially if you have frozen shoulder or something going on. Ideally, we'd like to try to get that hand up there because we are trying to increase the mobility in the shoulder. That's what we're trying to do. We may not be there just yet. However, I'd like to try to get that hand up, soft shoulder, still keep my spine in an alignment as I'm trying to raise that hand up. Yeah? So from your standing position, as you're raising your hand up, just notice what happens to the rest of your body as you are trying to lift that hand up. Are you going too fast? Are you swinging your spine out of whack just to get the hand up? Yeah, we don't really want that. So just be mindful, as your arm is going up, you're using your breath to do it, what's happening with the rest of my body as I'm trying to get that hand up there? Am I compromising every other thing just to get it higher? In my opinion, that's not worth it. So yes, you're trying to get up, you're trying to get the mobility, you're trying to get flexibility, but watch where you are on any particular day. If it's causing you more pain, more strain in the shoulders, maybe you should ease off a little bit for that particular day. And then the next day you might notice, oh, this is much better. I can go up a little higher and I can do it with ease. You're constantly looking for the range of motion that you can do with ease. You don't want this to hurt. We want this to be gradual. We don't want to jam our bodies more, because that's probably why we're already coming to the mat, because we're all jammed up and we want to create some space. Yeah. So if we're doing our poses, our asanas on the mat, and we're creating more and more and more tension, I'm not sure if that's the way to go. I mean, it might be for you, not for me. I want to gradually get my body to open up on its own, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to unjam those places that are tight, that are just feeling just so fused together that they can't move. I'm not going to try to force it, because then I'm going to break it. Then I'm talking injury, and I don't really want injury. I don't want more injuries because they take too long to deal with. So I want to create flexibility. I want to create ease. I want to create a pathway for more breath to go through my body, because we know if we're breathing, that's so all of those benefits is what I want, with the least amount of bad things. I don't want bad things to happen to me when I'm on my mat. I don't want to get injured. Am I going to stub my toe every once in a while? Yeah, maybe. But I really would not. I'd prefer not to break something as I'm doing my yoga practice. I mean, nothing is guaranteed in life, but that's the goal, is not to get injured, but to get all the good things. So we know that if we try to get our bodies in that good alignment, we're trying to prevent those injuries. If we're putting our bodies in that alignment that is safe for us to progress, to maybe do things that are a little bit more challenging, we want to do them safely. We don't want to just haphazardly, try to jump up into a handstand, because what's going to happen? I'm going to fall and I'm going to injure myself, and bad things are going to happen, and I don't want that. I want to eventually make my way into whatever. It may not be handstand. You all know that I want to do a handstand, but it might be, I want to be able to sit cross-legged. Maybe that's your goal, because generally your knees are tight, or your hips are so tight that you're not able to do that. Maybe that's your goal. So regardless of what your goal is, we want to use the modifications that are going to best suit us. And I've said it a million times before. Every single time you come to your mat, it's going to be different. So if you have all of those different things to kind of think about, okay, what should my feet be doing today? Oh, I feel a little imbalanced today on that side or this side or here or there. Okay, now I know, oh, I can do this, or I can do this, or I can do this. So the more information that you have, the better that you can fine-tune what your body is going to do for you on any particular day. Because we want to get the most benefit, right? I do. If I'm already taking the time to come to my mat, and I've carved out some time for me to do something, whether it's a yoga practice or walking around the block or going for a jog, whatever it is, I want to get benefit from that, right? I do. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to just be wasting time. Maybe you do. Maybe that's your purpose. I don't know. But if I'm coming to my mat and I'm going through these poses, I'd like to see some benefit. I'd like to see my body improve somehow. Now, whether your improvements are big improvements or small improvements, I know sometimes the small improvements, they get frustrated because they're like, oh, that's all I did today. But think of it as that one step forward, that baby step towards the next part, And then as I add on, I get stronger, and then I can do all of those wonderful things that I want to do, whatever they are. So, just a few pointers on what your hands can be doing, and being mindful of what the shoulder is doing as you're taking those arms up overhead. So we'll go over a few more things as we add on to our poses and as we start piecing them together into our flows, but I just wanted to cover that because it's important. Our shoulders are very important. They do many things for us, so I want to make sure that they are in a comfortable, safe place as I'm moving my arms. So the arms, important, but always work on your base first. So when you are standing at the front of your mat from mountain pose, getting ready to take the arms up overhead, don't start thinking about the arms first. Think about your feet, line up from the bottom, whatever's touching the mat first. Line that up first and then make your way up towards the sky. For example, from mountain pose. When you're in tabletop, that's a different story, because then now you're trying to do knees and your hands. Those are touching the floor, so you have to align both of those up. But as the arms are moving up over the sky, make sure that everything underneath those hands and arms are in the best alignment that you can get at that moment, and then finish up with the arms. The arms are kind of like the last little bit, like the cherry on top of the whipped cream on top of the ice cream. It's that whole layer system. Get the base strong first, layer the next part to be strong, safe. Each layer just builds and builds until you get to the very top, and then we deconstruct it again as we keep going. But base first, work your way up. So that's it for now, and we'll talk soon.